In a small village nestled deep within the lush forests of West Africa lived Mazi Uzo and his family. That was a time when it was believed that a mischievous spirit called Ogbanje was said to be born repeatedly into the same family, causing grief and suffering before returning to the spirit world. This was the fate of Mazi Uzo and his wife, who had lost 9 children. They would fall ill and die mysteriously before their 7th birthday. The villagers believed he and his wife were under a curse. The gods have cursed them, they would always say. Few months after the death of his son, Mazi Uzo sought the help of powerful herbalists around, and they all said the same thing. At the right time, a child would stay, for there is time for everything. But when was the right time? How many children would he have to bury before the child will stay? The depressed Mazi Uzo resorted to fate. His wife gave birth to another son, and this time they named him Odoemelam, meaning may it not reoccur. When he was 7, he was taken to Ojokija's shrine like his father was instructed by the herbalist, for all the others died at that age. Odoemelam was going to be 7 in few market days, and no other of his children had lived past that age. Go find where you bury the clothes, the great Dibia instructed him. It was believed that if he found the clothes of the spirits, Odoemelam would stay alive and not go back to the land of the spirit. From one tree to another, they dug and dug and dug, yet no cloth was found. Odo, please, don't leave us like this. Please, where did you bury the secret clothes? His parents pleaded. But Odoemelam remained silent, for it seemed his time had come. Not too long, they lost him to the cold hands of death. Mazi Uzo and his wife wept sore. We will give him a mark so that we will know him when he reincarnates, the great Dibia said. Mazi Uzo stopped trying to have children after the death of Odo for years, but one day his wife became pregnant again and gave birth to a baby girl this time around. So beautiful and light-skinned she was that her father named her name, meaning she looked like my mother. She was a spitting image of his mother. Nne was a beautiful girl, full of laughter and curiosity. However, there was something peculiar about her. Even though she too was believed to be an Ogbanje in the village, she was quite different from the other children, for she was enthusiastic and full of life. Nne's parents had lost several children before her, and they feared that she was yet another Ogbanje. They were determined to break the circle of sorrow and protect their beloved daughter. The villagers pitied Nne, yet they told their children to stay away from her. She is an Ogbanje, they warned. She too will soon die like the others, for they thought she belonged to the spirits. Her 7th birthday was fast approaching, and she was sent to stay with the wise healer. He gave her a small carved wooden figurine known as Uli, which was said to have the power to ward off evil spirits, but Nne was an enthusiastic and wise child, and one would easily fall in love with her. I will not die, I will grow old, she would always say when she saw her parents looking fearful and gloomy. And because of this, her parents had hope. It was few days to her birthday, and Nne was under close watch, with fear in everyone's heart. But something happened that morning, for Nne had jumped out of the hut without her Uli, unnoticed, and off she hopped, following a beautiful bird. Oh, they searched and searched, but she was nowhere to be found, for the Dibia's house stood on a mountain at the end of the village. Nne had gone deep into a forest and was lost. They searched for days, weeks, and resorted to fate. For for her 7th birthday had passed without her holding her protective uli. Mazi Uzo and his wife returned home depressed and had lost hope. But Nne had been found by an old female herbalist deep in the forest. She took her home and took care of her. Nne stayed with her for years, where she learned how to make healing herbs. I am old and closer to my grave. The day the gods told me I would find you was the exact day I found you. And I would pass this gift and knowledge from the gods unto you, for you are a blessed child. Few years later, the old female herbalist died. Nne returned home at the age of 15 to her parents, who had lost hope and given up faith. With joy, her parents embraced her tightly. From that day forward, they nurtured her unique abilities, and Nne grew up to become a wise and respected healer in the village. People traveled far and wide, seeking her guidance and touch of her healing hands and herbs. Nne's story spread throughout the land, and she became a symbol of hope and understanding. And so is the tale of Nne, the girl once thought to be an Ogbanje, but became a legend passed down from generation to generation. A reminder that sometimes what is perceived as darkness can be the source of the brightest light. Finally, don't let previous negative events determine your path. Don't stop being hopeful and enthusiastic, for you may be the one who would break the curse.